You got to freaking kidding me. This can't be serious. Son of a. Oh, God. Okay. Okay. All right. So, man. Okay. So training camp day 9 officially in the books. Trying to take a page from my guy, the Buffalo Jet fan. I love his composure. He was very, very composed when he put the news out there earlier today. I'm sure by now you all have heard as well. Um, yeah, the highlight of the training camp today was pretty much Kai Becton going down again. I can't do it. This is all right. So training camp day 9. Um, Overall, Zach Wilson looking good. Tyler Conklin looking good. Sauce Gardner looking good. Jermaine Johnson actually today, boom, looking good. And as good as that is, right, for us to kind of celebrate and realize our young core is continuing to rise. Zach Wilson, you know what I'm saying, even with consistent pressure today, very impressive drives. It negates the fact that today we saw Mekhi Becton go down. Mekhi Becton right now, based off of what Robert Saleh said, he's not worried about it. He's not concerned about it. It's looking like a minor situation, not at all like last year. However, we heard this last year as well when they were talking about, hey, 2, 3 weeks, he'll be back, right? Oh, you know what? We're a couple weeks away. We're a couple weeks away, and so forth and so forth and so forth throughout the entire season. Look, I'm as optimistic as a Jets fan is going to be, right? No matter what happens here, I'm going to root for the Jets. I'm going to still believe we have what it takes and that there's enough pieces in place that we can still see success. I really believe that to my core, but we just made it harder for ourselves if we don't have a Mekhi Becton at that right tackle spot or on the line. And it's not just about Mekhi Becton in terms of the effect and impact on this season. We still want to know this guy is a future staple, on our offensive line. If he's hurt again, and this is why I'm concerned, right? Like when you look at the video, when you watch the video, it's not about that Mekhi Becton got hurt or somebody bull rushed him, powered him over. It looks like JFM came through and bull rushed him, but there's no way JFM is lifting a 370-pound man like that, right? And pushing him over. He started to go down before there was contact. That's concerning. That's concerning. He was limping around quite a bit. Um, at one point, you saw freaking Joe Douglas or Robert Saleh go to the sideline with Joe Douglas and have a conversation. It didn't seem like they were just joking around. It didn't seem appealing by any means. By any means, it's just that those kind of injuries, where they're really non-contact, we've seen it all the time. It's never a good thing. It's never a good thing. When's the last time you saw a non-contact leg injury be a good thing? It's very rare that's the case, right? And with a guy like Mekhi Becton, who again, are we starting to say he has maybe a bit of an injury history now? Is that the label we want to put on him? I mean, last year he got rolled over on. You really can't control that. That wasn't really on him. He didn't complete a full season his rookie year either, right? So like He went down. He was grabbing his knee. It's the same knee that was surgically repaired just last year that kept him out for the entire season. He's busted his butt to get to this point, man, to get to this point where he can go ahead and get on that offensive line, be a staple, be a part of his growth process, his growth movement. And I'm hoping, man, it's nothing. Like, again, when me telling you my perspective on it, I'm hoping and I'm praying that it's nothing. This is the last video I wanted to make, was about an injury, period, let alone on our offensive line with Mekhi Becton. Like, this isn't fun. This isn't a fun part of this process. It's concerning because we need Mekhi Becton to be fully in there, man, functional. You know, he needs to be the saving grace for his draft class. And he's also a staple towards the success of seeing Zach Wilson's development. We can't we can't we can't allow Zach Wilson to go in there with a rotation of tackles in front of him. The kid needs a level of stability, especially up front in that offensive line. He's an athlete, so he can improvise. We've seen Zach Wilson do it last year under pretty bad offensive line play. But we also saw what it looks like whenever he gets a lot of pressure on and collapses. This is year 2 into the system. His processing speed is definitely improved, which was a big concern from last year. We saw from the beginning of the year towards the end. His weapons are still his weapons, right? George Fant, again, being brought along slowly, is going to be that left tackle position. Now, to me, the Dwayne Brown sighting at the Green and White game speaks more volume. Like, I'm actually surprised we didn't hear anything sooner, or yesterday, or the day of, actually, of Jets in talks with contract negotiations, or Jets and freaking Dwayne Brown are this close to reaching an agreement. Something. We didn't see that. And I think now it's more important than ever that we've got to see that. I know Robert Saleh stated that they're confident and they're comfortable with the guys they have back there. They believe in the secondary and the offensive tackle. I'm here to tell you right now that is complete bullshit. It's bullshit, and it's because as a leader of men, he is not going to put the appearance or the story out there that he lacks confidence in anybody on his roster. He's the coach. He's the leader of that locker room, of those players, and it makes sense. You've got to go ahead and keep morale up. You've got to go ahead and keep those guys thinking positive. It starts with you. So I applaud you, Coach Saleh, for doing exactly that. But the fact is, behind Mekhi Becton, behind George Fant, we have a combination of either weak offensive tackles or unproven offensive tackles. That's it. Those are the two, weak or unproven. And going into year 2 of the system, going into year 2 of Zach's development, with all the new shiny toys we just gave him, we need him to be able to stand upright to take advantage of those, right? And I don't I don't have faith in Chuma Adoga. I'm sorry, I don't. Um, McDermott apparently is out for the next couple of weeks with an ankle injury. So even if he was healthy, I'm not confident in Connor McDermott. Do we really want to put our rookie out there, Mitchell? Do we really want to put Mitchell out there right now? Game 1 against the Baltimore Ravens, right? Like, one of the things I've been preaching this entire offseason has been the benefit of the continuity aspect of having, our offensive line gelling, the wide receiver room gelling, running back room gelling, the coaching staff is intact. Like, the continuity piece has been key. So having a rotation at one of the most important positions on the offensive line and tackle, it's not good for the kid. It's not good for the system. Again, this is a complex system. It's not easy. So there's a lot of blocking schemes that need to be learned and need to be freaking timed perfectly. And that's why I'm a little frustrated right now. And again, Makai, I get, when you saw the injury, like, I'm not blaming Makai Becton for. He's a big guy. He's a really big guy. One of the things we love about him is his size, right? His athleticism. So with that comes the fact that we need to realize he's a 6'7", 370-pound man playing in the National Football League. One of the biggest to ever do it. So the question now remains is, like, is that size also his Achilles heel? Right? We've got it as a strength for him, as a huge benefit for the system. But is it also on the same thought process? Maybe it's his Achilles heel, because if he can't stay healthy, if we can't use that awesome amount of talent we know this kid has, what do we do next? What do we do next? I don't know. It's I hope this is just a video of hyperbole, of me being a Jets fan, seeing something that happened in camp today that was really bad, watching that tape 1,000 times over, and realizing, man, it could be worse than what they're going to let us know. I'm over here watching Robert Saleh's mannerisms during the press conference, trying to see if I can find a tell of him, like, lying, and we won't know until we know. The MRI is apparently being scheduled for later today, so hopefully we hear something by tomorrow or at the latest on Wednesday. But again, the positive was Zach Wilson did look good today. That connection with him and Tyler Conklin is legitimate. Jermaine Johnson also had a pretty good day today as well in camp. Nobody else, came out of camp injured. Connor McDermott is out for 2 to 3 weeks with an ankle injury. Um, Dwayne Brown is still unsigned. We're really hoping to get a different storyline on that sometime sooner than later. We're not dead in the water, right? One of the things I keep telling myself is we really don't know what Max Mitchell is capable of. Just because we don't want to play him at the tackle position, he has a technical proficiency to be able to jump in there and be serviceable, right? As long as George Fant is healthy and on that left side, that left tackle position, the right side, whoever's coming straight at Zach Wilson, he should have eyes on, which is a benefit of um, him being right-handed. I just I didn't want to make this kind of video. I really didn't. I didn't. It's not in me to go ahead and shoot up the warning flares and abort mission and start to freak out. But the tackle position is definitely one of our weak suits, and we all know it. So if we know it, they know it. There's no way the coaching staff and Joe Douglas don't realize right now behind the offensive tackle position there are considerable concerns. So what do we do? Do we bring in Dwayne Johnson? I'm sorry, Dwayne Johnson. I'm talking about The Rock. I'm talking about The Rock now. Do we bring in Dwayne Brown? Because ultimately, I think that's the answer. That's legitimately the answer. We've got to bring him in. George Fant would have to slide back at right tackle, but at this point, it's about the team, right? It's about the team, and most importantly, it's about Zach Wilson. We need to be able to get a grade on what this kid truly is this year. There's a bunch of ceilings, a bunch of floors labeled out for him based off of last year, and we want to know. We want to know by the end of the season, what do we have in Zach Wilson, and we can't do that if the kid ain't standing straight up. We can't have a situation where we're wondering whether or not, was Sam really good or was he trash? We didn't know because he didn't have the weapons, he didn't have the offensive line support, etc., for us to get a proper gauge. We cannot do that with Zach Wilson. Can't do it. So that's your New York Jets situation report update or debrief on training camp day 9. He's gonna be all right. Makai's gonna be fine. He's gonna be fine. Go Jets.
Any update on Makai back then?
No, he's being evaluated. That's about all I got.
It looked like his toe kind of got caught in the turf when he bent a little weird, so obviously he was immediately grabbing his knee. Is that something you guys are concerned about, considering it was the one that was surgically repaired?
Yeah, the only thing I got is that it's stable. Everything seems fine. Preliminary, obviously, we're just going to get it checked for precautionary reasons, but as of now, it doesn't seem like it's a big deal, but knock on wood, hopefully it stays the case.
You say get checked, is he going to go for an MRI?
Yeah, that's all standard procedure.
Yeah.
So does this make it more likely that you're to sign someone like Dwayne Brown? Just out of caution.
But that's a joke.